Hello, everyone, and welcome to a chilly Albuquerque, New Mexico, home to the Sandia Peak Tramway and the site of tonight's USL Championship Western Conference semifinal. The playoffs presented by Terminix, and we've got two heavyweights here in the Western Conference. It's number 1, New Mexico United, taking on number 4, Las Vegas Lights FC. Welcome into the lab, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. And Chris, let's take a look at the playoff bracket and see exactly how we got here. Las Vegas Lights with a flair for the dramatic. In their first ever playoff match, Chris, they dispatched Sacramento Republic 3-2 in penalties. New Mexico on the flip side, downing Phoenix Rising right here on this field Sunday night by a final score of 2-1.
Yeah, it was two teams, Las Vegas and New Mexico United. Neither team coming into the playoffs with much form, much momentum. So both of them obviously delighted to be able to pull off the win. New Mexico United especially being able to come from behind.
Let's go ahead and dive deeper into this matchup here with a look at our players to watch, brought to you by Toyota. We're going to start off first with the black and yellow, and we're going to be keeping an eye on Mukwele Akale. He scored the game winner against Phoenix late in that second half.
And what an end to the season Akale has had. He had to be patient early on in the season. Lots of appearances off the bench where maybe he felt like he should have been starting more games. And once he did get his chance, really took it. And he's become so important for this team.
And now on the other side, we're going to be watching between the sticks. It's this 27-year-old Cuban, Rico Arozarena.
Arozarena just had his latest call-up to the Cuban national team in October. 8 clean sheets in the regular season. Had a 9th against Sacramento Republic. And also saved the first 3 PKs that he faced in that penalty shootout last week as well.
He was absolutely out of his mind against Sacramento Republic. There's a look at our players to watch. New Mexico will have their work cut out for them going against Rico Arozarena here tonight, as we're going to go ahead and step aside. The 2024 New Mexico United season is brought to you by Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary. Lineups and kickoff on the other side of this.
There's no place like the lab in November.
Micheletto unleashes one! Marco Micheletto, welcome to the lab!
But that was just the Wednesday in Maine.
It's his first goal for New Mexico United.
Haley lights it up, he scores!
And what a goal it was!
That's a random Saturday in August.
New Mexico deserves their...
On a weekend in April.
Oh, and at the back post, it's headed in!
We did that.
It's the captain!
That was a weeknight in September. It's been like this all season long.
And an absolute thunderbolt! And just like that, New Mexico have taken the lead! Flanagan with the backflip, and the lab has erupted!
So what's November going to look like at the lab this year? Well, that's up to you.
Well, it wouldn't be New Mexico if there was not a hot air balloon involved, as you're getting a look at the ball delivery for tonight. That's right, via hot air balloon, and it was delivered to none other than New Mexico's own Holly Holm. As we're ready to go here It's the USL Championship Western Conference semifinal. These are a look at your starting lineups brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Big change here for New Mexico United, Chris. No Greg Hurst in the squad tonight. Daniel Bruce getting the start instead.
Yeah, Daniel Bruce getting the start. He's already scored 3 goals, 2 in the away leg against Las Vegas and 1 here at home. So, you know, every player has a team that they tend to like playing against. Maybe Las Vegas is Daniel Bruce's.
Here for Las Vegas, just one change for head coach Dennis Sanchez. Grayson Duty getting the start here at right back instead of Smart today, but you're still going to see Valentin Noel and Corey Bennett leading this attack.
Yeah, and obviously a very, very strong team, and a little change at the back there with Duty stepping in, but the player that'll jump out at all New Mexico United fans is Solomon Asante on that right-hand side, long-time Phoenix Rising player and bad guy for Phoenix Rising, not really liked by the New Mexico United faithful, so I'm sure he'll get a welcome from the fans.
And that's a look at Makwele Akale. Daniel Bruce in the center circle. New Mexico in the all-black. Vegas in the all-white. And we're underway here from the lab. This is the first ever USL Western Conference semifinal here at the lab. As New Mexico, we mentioned in the open, downing Phoenix in the quarterfinal. This is actually just the second time New Mexico have been in the conference semifinal, Chris. You got to go back all the way back to the shortened 2020 season where the Black and Yellow lost down at Southwest University Park to El Paso Locomotive in a penalty shootout the last time they reached this. So looking to continue the trend of setting records, most wins at home, most wins, most points in a season, now looking to go further than they ever have.
What's crazy is like the similarities between Las Vegas and New Mexico. You could say exactly the same.
Yeah.
Most wins, most home, most points. The Chumbawamba that they've had this year, the comeback, it's unbelievable from one of, I mean, let's face it, one of the worst teams, or the worst team last year with just 3 wins during the entire season to tack on an extra 31 points. Like, that's a huge turnaround.
First playoff appearance club history, most points club history, most wins in club history, and tied for the second largest year-over-year points.
Yeah, and obviously it was something that was desperately needed as well. You know, I mean, that must have been an absolutely brutal season, but just, you know, just shows how close they were and the amount of investment that they've put into the team to really put a product on the field that the city of Las Vegas could be proud of.
And new ownership, Jose Batista taking over and really turned this nice club around. Visitors looking to break. Foul call on the field. Going to go against Talent Maple. So a Fiesta Auto free kick here. So this
It's interesting that Charlie Adam decided not to just deliver that into the box there. He had a couple of opportunities against Sacramento Republic last week as well, and absolute vicious left foot that he has. Really good dead ball delivery, but opted to go short there and try and get Asante into the game, but a comfortable early touch for Tambakis.
Ball given away there. Las Vegas in possession. This one goes back to Jabang. Finds Charlie Adams. Yeah, you were mentioning that free kick that he took against Sac Republic. Fizzed right over the crossbar of Danny Vitiello. Lights in possession. Here's Asante now looking to turn the corner. He does. Cross goes in. It's played out, and we're going to have a corner kick here for Las Vegas Lights. So it's a Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. as we approach the 4-minute mark. Las Vegas, Chris, we touched on the point turnaround, all of that stuff. They were minus 30 in goal differential last year. That, perhaps one of the greatest turnarounds that they've had, as this ball goes back post. It's headed away. The ensuing shot is blocked, cleared out by Micheletto. Played back into the penalty area. Herbert gets a foot to it. And eventually it's Nanan Hosu. Ball still bouncing around. Micheletto comes in to settle it.
It's going to be interesting to see which team comes out on top. Both teams like to have possession of the ball. It's what they do with it. And I think, you and I have talked on the broadcast many games that New Mexico United have had a lot of possession but struggled to maybe create chances. Las Vegas, I think last week against Sac Republic, they had 70%, almost 70% possession, no goals. The last 2 games they lost in the regular season, 70% possession as well, and losing those games. One of them was 3-2. But so, possession doesn't necessarily equal wins, but both teams really do enjoy having possession. And it's been Las Vegas early on here who have really enjoyed the lion's share, and they've settled really well into this game.
Here's Gennaro Nigro. Goes across. Here's Duty. Asante now, ball at his feet. Cross goes in, looking for Bennett. There was some contact there, but no foul from the official. Now looking to play Daniel Bruce out in front. Here's Bruce, the Englishman, goes down, and Daniel Bruce wins the free kick, and it's going to be an early booking here as Hafferty is shown yellow. And New Mexico tried to take it quickly, but it's going to be brought back.
You see how it's almost annoying. You must be so annoying to play against Daniel Bruce. He's no business. Hafferty has complete control of that situation there. Daniel Bruce just is so quick over the first couple of yards, gets his body in front, gets that little touch away, and Hafferty just can't help but have a little bite. Daniel Bruce tends not to stay down, so this is a little concerning for New Mexico United so early on in the game as well. But really good forward play. Again, Daniel Bruce, not the tallest centre forward, not the stature of a normal number 9 that you think, but he just has all the attributes to be able to hold the ball up for New Mexico United.
So a Fiesta Auto free kick coming up, and that's going to give us time to tell you about this 5:29 game update brought to you by the Education Plan. That's New Mexico state-sponsored 5:29 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. So Hafferty shown yellow just 6 minutes in. Hafferty, he spent time with Dennis Sanchez last season at Austin FC 2. They won the MLS Next Pro title as Akale plays this ball into the box. It's initially headed by Nigro. It was JC Ngando getting the last touch, and so New Mexico still in possession. Throw in here for Will Seymour. Massive equalizer for Seymour last weekend, Chris.
Yeah, huge. And what a weird series of events, even watching it back on TV. How the AR, huge props to the AR, that in real time he was able to pick out that ball, and it did. I know there's still some arguments from a little west of here that maybe it didn't cross the line, but it certainly did. And how the AR was able to spot that in real time, really, huge credit to him for that.
Noel chasing this down. Noel was also part of that Austin FC 2 squad last year with Dennis Sanchez. Noel, actually the MVP in that MLS Next Pro Cup final. Here's Nigro. Spreads it Noel now. Pin zone. Noel, he's got space. Cross goes in, and it's met initially by Tony Herbert. Back to Nigro. Lights now looking to spread it. Here's Duty. Duty, mid-season addition He joined on loan from CF Montreal of MLS. Since then, he's made 14 appearances, scored once. Ten minutes gone by here between these two. No real chances just yet. Two tremendous goalkeepers, Chris. What a matchup of keepers we have here today. You've got Raiko Rosarena, who you can argue is in some of the best form we're seeing right now in the USL Championship. And then you, on the other side, there in green, you've got the Greek god of saves, Alex Tambakis.
Yeah, exactly. Both keepers had 8 clean sheets during the season, but yeah, I mean, very different ways. Tambakis has been pretty consistent throughout the season. You know, had some good games, and then especially towards the end of the season, there was some games where maybe it wasn't going well in defense, let's say. But notice last week the change that was made with Herbert moving back alongside Maples, which is how New Mexico United started the season, and they were really good at the start of the season defensively. And yeah, I mean, I think that really did make a difference, and obviously that's a huge statement considering who he replaced, which was Kalen Ryden, who is no slouch himself either, you know. But Rosarena, I still remember all 3 goals in the 2-1 loss. Las Vegas Lights, last time they stepped in the lab, it was a 2-1 win for Las Vegas Lights. All goals scored in the first half. Daniel Bruce got one back right before halftime. It was like the 5th minute of injury time in the first half. I remember Rosarena pulled off some magnificent saves in that second half.
Here's Nigro making the run there. Now, by now, you probably saw the graphic that we just had underneath our score bug. Massive result in the Eastern Conference as this ball booted forward. Rosarena has to come out and boot it away as the Englishman Daniel Bruce just hustling. That's what he does.
Yeah, and you can just see how hard he worked, where he turns to play a quick throw in and no one from New Mexico United is within 30 yards of him. And that's going to be a challenge that New Mexico United have to find one of those centre mids, Hosu, Micheletto, Zico Bailey, who's going to be the one that's released to support Daniel Bruce.
And Gondo now, they'll pull things back as he escapes Nanan Hosu's challenge. There's Hafferty. Goes across to Valentin Noel. And, you know, Chris, you mentioned the last time these two teams met, it was here at the lab. Valentin Noel opened up the scoring just 4 minutes in. And yes, you're right, Daniel Bruce, right before the stroke of halftime, 5 minutes into first half stoppage. And then the deciding goal, 66th minute. It was this man right here, Pinzon. Back to Nigro, looking for the cross, and it was touched there by Tony Herbert. Looked like Talon Maples also made an attempt there, and it's going to be a corner kick coming up here for Lights.
The Lights are asking a couple of questions right now, getting some wood, but New Mexico United have managed to deal with them so far, but don't want to give away too many set pieces early on in this one.
That's a look at the gaffer, Eric Quill. Just as the lower third said, guided the club to their highest point total in club history this season. 13 minutes gone by. You see Daniel Bruce, just a nuisance. Pinzon connects here with Adams. Adams has space. You don't want to leave him space. Touch back to Ngondo. Now back to Jabang. Here's Nigro. 24 years old, Gennaro Nigro. Spent some time in MLS Next Pro with Real Monarchs. New Mexico United fans probably thinking, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Mexico United, it seems like this is maybe the way that they are planning to set up today. They're not too, I'm going to say fussed. that's what I would say. You know, they don't seem too bothered about allowing Las Vegas Lights to have a lot of the ball. They're just sitting in that little low block, pretty much defending their own half, allowing their centre-backs to have it when the ball is popped into the attacking players, trying to force them negative, but seem relatively comfortable, and that's a sign of a really well-organised team if you're comfortable or feel like you still have control even when you don't have the ball.
Rafferty finds Adams. Into Bennett. Nigro once again. Spent some time in Italy in the 3rd division. Serie C. Bang was just looking to play that one over. There's a look at the other gaffer, Dennis Sanchez, as we mentioned, former Austin FC 2 gaffer. He's brought a few of his guys into this Las Vegas Light side, and man, look what they've been able to do in the USL Championship this year.
Yeah, and you mentioned, he's been allowed to bring in some of his own guys, Rafferty, Noel, and Noel has paid him back in spades as well. 10 goals, 7 assists there in the regular season. So, obviously repaid that faith in him as well. So, coaches have those players. You see that all over the world. When coaches go to move to different clubs and they bring in guys who they can trust or who they know or who fit their system. And clearly, he's got a way of playing, and Noel for sure fits that system.
New Mexico applying some pressure here and resulting in a turnover. Vargas spreads it. Here's Micheletto. Micheletto! And he just sends it wide. That is the best opportunity that we've seen so far.
And that's it. And it's from, again, being comfortable out of possession. Las Vegas had the ball, no real thing. But Hosu just read the pass really, really well. And that's what New Mexico United are trying to do. A couple of passes later, and it just opens up for Micheletto. He thinks, why not? And I'm not sure, Rosarena, if that was curling. He just started it just a little too far outside the post, Micheletto. If that was a foot further in, I'm not sure Rosarena was going to get there. I always say you can tell by the goalkeepers, how worried they look, and Rosarena looked very, very concerned that was going to sneak inside the post there.
There you see the ball manager, 2 hands on top of the head after that one, and I think that was about 99% of the lab here. And I do want to throw a shout out. There is a small section of Las Vegas Lights fans in attendance. Big shout out to the Lights traveling support that have made their way out here to a frosty Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I wonder how they like 40 degrees and dropping.
I don't think it's quite 40 anymore. It's expected to be in the mid to high 30s by the time this match wraps up here tonight. Yeah, and to be fair, I don't know how adapted New Mexico United are, Chris. This weather really came in about 5-6 days ago.
Yeah, it's been a wild week, and the snow and obviously power outages that people have been dealing with, and a real, everyone loves living in New Mexico because of fall. I feel like we skipped that bit this year. We just went straight from summer to winter.
Here's Rafferty. Ball pinged forward. Eventually there. Big interception by Nanan Hosu. And that's what Hosu does for this club. So we have a look at our Garcia Automotive Group keys to the game for New Mexico, who will hold possession, get Rosarena off his game, and make effective and timely substitutions. Our Ben Sherman Law injury report. Injured at work. Ben Sherman can help. Abdi Mohammed, although he is on the bench here tonight. Christian Nava, Dayon Harris, Arturo Astorga, all out with season-ending injuries.
Going back to your Hosu point there, he just finds the ball. He's like a magnet to it, and it's so important. Talking about players who've been added to this roster, what's the difference for New Mexico United? They clinched. They knew they were going to playoffs well before the season ended, and that's a huge difference for this organisation. And you have to point towards Nanan Hosu in the middle in that anchor midfield role in there. It's just been so important, and he missed the first game or so, because of suspension, and then it took a while to get into the team. And once he's been in, it's just proved so important in what you're talking about, just cutting out passes, winning tackles, and he's really, really comfortable on the ball as well.
Well done there defensively by Tony Herbert. Will Seymour Here's Micheletto now. New Mexico looking to not get caught by the offside trap. Looking far. Akale gets a touch. And Rosarena able to get his hands on it the second time around. But New Mexico starting to ask some questions.
Yeah, and it's that just added some tempo in midfield, and the ball popped out. It was Hosu again. Springs Micheletto out wide. Micheletto breaking from central, and you just see Daniel Bruce and Akale at the back post wide open. Great ball there. Allows him to take it first time. You see the pace on it. Rosarena couldn't catch it on the first attempt, and there just wasn't anyone there for New Mexico United to pop the rebound in.
Replays tonight, as always, brought to you by TLC Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Defend your home with TLC service experts. Osu looking for the through ball. Connects with Vargas. Off the deflection. Finds Zico Bailey. So if we have any fans out there that are watching, wondering why is the crowd cheering right now? No, they're not cheering New Mexico United in possession. This is actually a tradition that occurs at every New Mexico United home match, and it's called the Magic Minute. So they start at the 19-minute, 12-second mark, and that is to signify when New Mexico was recognized as a state, and they'll cheer until the 20-minute, 18-second mark, and that is to signify when New Mexico United were announced as a club. It's a tradition started way back in the club's inaugural season, 2019, by then head coach, is the first head coach and technical director in club history, Troy Lesane, current DC United gaffer. Here's Ngondo, lays it off for Noel, and Herbert with the clearance. So 20. Go ahead.
Sorry, just really telling that. I'd say New Mexico United had the best two chances of the game so far.
Yep.
You might not believe this, but in terms of possession, 76% possession so far for Las Vegas Lights. It just shows how effective New Mexico United are at just kind of allowing Las Vegas to have the ball, picking their moments, like working out what the triggers are that they're going to, when they're going to step and when they're going to try and win it, and then springing a counter-attack really quickly like this.
And Ngondo turns it over. It's the Philippine international, Zico Bailey, as Charlie Adams, the veteran, drags him down. Get another look here on this TLC replay. Well done there by Zico Bailey, and Adams. He knew exactly what he was doing there, Chris. That's our official Natalie Simon. Not our first time seeing Natalie Simon here at the lab, Chris, and in previous trips, she's been excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see just stamping her authority on there. It was Adam was having a little giggle.
It's a shot from New Mexico, and that one goes wide.
Yeah, but not taking any grief off the really experienced Adam as well. It's I didn't see if he got a yellow card there. Again, he knew exactly what he was doing. Maybe a little lucky to not get one. But yeah, it's been really interesting little chess match again. You know, we talked really early on in the game. We talked about how both teams like possession. New Mexico United really have said, you can have it, and we're just going to try and pick you off. And it's, you know, because the other side of it could be, do New Mexico United want to try and keep the ball, move Las Vegas around so that the altitude becomes a factor later on in the half. But yeah, they're really allowing Las Vegas to dictate the tempo for a certain amount. But when they go, New Mexico United are so quick on that counter, and it's causing all kinds of issues.
There you see a little bit of extracurriculars between Bennett and Herbert. Enough to where Natalie Simon had to go and have a word with them. There's a look at the current weather conditions. 41 and breezy out there for the 9,500 plus on hand here tonight. We're back to it here, 24 minutes in. Noel. Well goes down in the foul called against Zico Bailey. Zico Bailey tonight making his 29th appearance of the season for New Mexico. 25th start. Played into second half stoppage time last weekend before being subbed off against Phoenix. 4 tackles. Also had an interception and a clearance. Scored his first goal for the Philippines national team just a couple weeks ago as well. Here's Nigro. As we were going to touch on earlier, Chris, a 3-spot in the Rhode Island-Louisville City match, but not to who you think. Rhode Island goes into Louisville and hands Lou City a 3-0 defeat. Massive day there. J.J. Williams with a brace. And the final goal was tacked on later on by Albert Diqua. But that means the top seed in the East is now out, Chris. Number 1, Louisville City, following the record-breaking year that they had. Supporter Shield champions will not be USL Cup champions. There's Hosu looking to get down to the byline. Hosu plays it in. Not typical that you've seen Nanan Hosu getting down into those areas. Makwele Akale now measures one up. Takes a deflection off of Hafferty.
And anywhere will do for Las Vegas there. There's Pinzon all the way back in his own 18-yard box. And earlier the foul on Noel as well. He's having to pick up the ball off his centre-backs. And if you're New Mexico United, you're absolutely thrilled because they're attacking. They are a danger in and around your 18-yard box. If they're having to pick the ball up off their own centre-backs in their own half, delighted for New Mexico United.
There's a look at Eric Quill on the sideline. Fans in the aftermath of both Hurricanes Helene and Milton, the USL has partnered with the United Way Suncoast to help the Tampa Bay area recover from the devastation that the storm left behind. So Rosarena boots this one long. Fans, you can learn how to get involved. Scan the QR code, visit ussoccer.com/Milton to ensure individuals and families have the access to resources they need to recover. Well, Chris, approaching the 30-minute mark. This has been a lot of fun so far here at the lab. Seymour, New Mexico, looking to break once again. He's got Akale on the near side. Seymour has a pop, and it's saved by Rosarena. And Will Seymour, fresh off his goal last weekend, figured, why not?
Can you say a guy with confidence? Just see it just coursing through, and again, Las Vegas likes to just drop off and drop off and drop off. So it gets to a point where you just think, say, why not? And again, the ball seems like it's moving around a lot in the air, and Rosarena's having a really hard time so far today catching anything cleanly. So he makes a good decision and just gets it away from danger. Dangerous set piece for New Mexico United here.
It's a Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick for New Mexico United. Hello, crisp, refreshing taste. Hello, Topo Chico hard seltzer. Here's Makwele Akale. Deliver the in-swinger. He's looking for middle there. Micheletto! And that ball just goes wide. And that is now 2 really close shots there for the number 10, Marco Micheletto.
And again, you'll see a Rosarena. He just looks. He's rooted to the spot. If that is inside the post, he is not getting there. Just takes it so early. And New Mexico United looking really, really dangerous in and around the 18-yard box of lights.
Marco Micheletto, 1 goal so far this season, but he gets it done, dishing it out. 4 assists. He's created 36 chances. That's second so far for the black and yellow this season, showing he can get it done himself. Here's Zico Bailey. Bailey joined New Mexico midway through last season. He was one of the first couple of additions for Eric Quill, as Zico Bailey brought over from San Antonio FC. Ended up making 11 starts for New Mexico after that mid-season addition. He's been stellar this year in the midfield. Here he is again. Had that brace that he scored on this pitch against Real Salt Lake in the U.S. Open Cup. Is Gloucester chasing this one down? Haven't said Chris Gloucester's name too much. Into the penalty area. Nicoletto. That ball goes out, and it's going to be a corner kick here for New Mexico. Opportunities starting to pile up now for the black and yellow.
Yeah, there's been a lot of action down there. New Mexico United right, Las Vegas Lights left. Up in zone, and Noel have drifted that side. Asante has been really quiet. He's been staying really high and wide, which obviously means that Chris Gloucester hasn't really been involved. But Gloucester with his left foot, once he gets in the attack, brings a great balance to the attack for New Mexico United.
There's Marco Micheletto. Vargas is going to make a big run up there. And Bruce doesn't quite get a touch. It goes as far as Akale. Takes a touch. Another touch. Akale. He was just looking to pick out that top corner, but Arozarena was having none of it. What have you seen over the last 5 minutes or so here, Chris?
I mean, territory-wise, it's obviously it's a lot more New Mexico United now. Again, seem pretty comfortable with, again, right now, as you see right now, just, allowing Las Vegas to have it in these kind of areas, and once they get to a certain point, then they decide to step. But there's some questions being asked of Las Vegas Lights, and it's going to be interesting to see what they try and do different, because it's not working. It's been very, very comfortable for Tambakis and the New Mexico United goal so far.
Bailey looking to spring Daniel Bruce forward. And Arozarena well out of his penalty area, making the clearance.
That's the second time he's had to do that as well. Really great starting position from Arozarena. Couldn't be almost like a sweeper keeper, helping his back line out. Because Daniel Bruce, he was off to the races again there.
Here's Bruce off the throw-in. Trying to get by Hafferty, and Bruce commits the foul. So free kick coming up here for Las Vegas. We enter the 33rd minute here in Albuquerque. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. It's the USL Championship playoffs presented by Terminix. And this is the first ever USL Championship Western Conference semifinal right here in Albuquerque. New Mexico, the number 1 seed in the West. Suddenly, Chris, for New Mexico, if they're able to get to that title game with Louisville going down earlier today, that means New Mexico are next in line to host. Big turnover there. Bruce has some space, tries to spread it. Vargas, and it's a kick save from Arozarena. We remain scoreless here in Albuquerque.
What a save. Unbelievable save from Arozarena. And said it in the pre-game, player to watch, and last time against New Mexico United here at the Lab, he pulled off some amazing saves. Add that one to the list. Going the wrong direction. I feel like his weight was going the wrong direction. Great touch by Daniel Bruce there. Just knew where his teammates were there. And first time shot, so he doesn't have time to get set. Throws out the foot and tips it around the post. Great save.
Corner kick here. Vargas able to turn. Vargas plays it in and deflected and out. And we've got a goal kick coming up here for Lights. New Mexico really turning on the pressure. I almost said turning on the heat and realized it's about 38 degrees out there. Bit unlucky there for Chris Gloucester. That ball went off of his feet. So Eric Quill took over mid-June last year for New Mexico, June 13th. During that time, Chris, including playoffs, Eric Quill at the Lab 18 wins, just 8 losses and 4 draws. And during that stretch, his side outscoring the opposition 52-38 during that 30-match stretch.
That was one of the things that he pinpointed as soon as he stepped in the doors. Why is this building not more of a fortress? Why do people enjoy coming here? And let's face it, for too many years it was a scalp. It was a can you get the crowd out of it? Can you take the air out of the stadium? And it happened too often. And this has become a place where teams dread coming now, and that's huge. And that's been the difference in the season.
Massive showing at home for New Mexico this season, posting 11 wins, taking 35 out of a possible 51 points here on home soil. And you mentioned in the pregame, Chris, when we were talking about Daniel Bruce, he's got that one team he likes to score against. 5 goals this season for the Englishman, and as you mentioned, 3 of them coming against this Las Vegas Lights squad in 2 matches. In fact, you got to go all the way back to July 31st for the last time Daniel Bruce scored. It was here against Las Vegas Lights.
Yeah, and again, listening to podcasts or whatever, right? Like, there's the one with Alan Shearer and Gary Lineker, and they always talk about, like, who did you like playing against? Like, I like playing against this team. I always scored when I went to this stadium. I always scored when I went to this stadium. I never scored if I went to this stadium. And those little superstitions, you know what? In all sports, there's superstitions, and soccer players are absolutely no different. So Daniel Bruce will be aware of that stepping on the field tonight, and it gives you that little extra half a yard of pace or a little more confidence to take on a shot that maybe you wouldn't against other teams. He'll know about it.
And Daniel Bruce, we talked about those 5 goals that he scored this season in his career here at New Mexico United. The 5 goals, the most that he scored in a single season. Headed away by Seymour. Goes back to Jabang. Here's Nigro now. Here's Pinzon. And Gondo spreads it. It's Duty. Cross goes in, looking back post for Noel. Finds the feet of Will Seymour. 38th minute. Seymour gets a touch. Lights back in possession. Here's Charlie Adams. Such quick feet there in the midfield from New Mexico. Vargas able to force a turnover. Gets it over to Bruce. A little give and go now with the El Salvadorian. Nobody home there for Vargas to play the ball to. In all fairness for Miquele Akale, Vargas and Bruce were flying.
Yeah, it is. It's. I think that was. I assume that was a shot by Vargas. Maybe he didn't have a look up and he assumed someone else was with him, but again, it all came from Las Vegas in possession. And you were saying about the fast feet in midfield. It's, when the Las Vegas Lights, they look up, they see a gap, they see a passing lane. By the time they look down at the ball and execute, that window's then shut. And Mexico United doing a great job of that.
Asante ran off the ball. Hosu just bullied him there. Here comes Nanan Hosu now. Finds Akale. Still Akale holding on to it. Last week's goal scorer, Miquele Akale, just trying to wiggle free. Akale goes down. Nothing from the official. And the crowd starting to get restless.
guess we're going to have to see that one back. I just don't understand why Akale would go down if he wasn't contacted. And if he wasn't contacted as well, that probably has to be a yellow card. Simulation
absolutely.
As well.
40th minute here, and we'll wait to see a replay. Natalie Simon, she is hurt enough, as we're going to get a look here on this replay, and I didn't really see too much from that angle. And Eric Quill has been shown yellow while we were having a look at that TLC replay. And so Quill into the book. There's a couple of looks at that potential foul. Non-call. And we remain scoreless here at the Lab. Less than 5 minutes. The first half remaining plus stoppage time. Nicoletto able to force a turnover. Now, crowd starting to grow a little frustrated here following that recent call. 41st minute, we'll take a look here. Nicoletto was certain that it was out on Gennaro Nigro. Adams. This ball headed forward. Here's Asante. Lays it off for Pinzone. Here's Duty now. It's a foot race. And what a challenge there from Chris Gloucester.
What a tackle that was from Gloucester. That's really the first time that we've seen Solomon Asante venture into the midfield to try and find the ball, and him coming inside just opened up the space for Duty to run down that right-hand side, and foot race between him and Gloucester made no mistake there.
So this will be a throw-in here for Las Vegas. Sounds like another yellow card has been shown to somebody else on the New Mexico United bench. Those yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. It's a 42nd minute. Start hearing some chants happening down in the crowd now. Looking to just rally a little bit here. New Mexico forced the turnover. Bruce. He was surrounded, and now the foul called against Las Vegas. It's Nicoletto that's down.
Amazing stats, just looking through the ongoing stats as we're going through here. Still over 70% possession for Las Vegas. The last time they attempted a shot, over 30 minutes ago.
Wow. New Mexico ought to feel like they're in control of this match so far. So you'll see Miquele Akale and Marco Nicoletto both standing over this. Nicoletto now breaks Akale. It's it right at Arozarena.
That'll help, a little bit of confidence for, not that he needs confidence after that save he pulled off, but in terms of his handling, there's been a couple that Arozarena has bobbled maybe, and Tyler Maples was there, Johnny on the spot, just in case there was any kind of bobble to poke it home, but caught cleanly this time.
Rosarena in no hurry to send that ball away. It's Alex Tambakis. Haven't called his name much here tonight. Tambakis making his 120th league appearance for the black and yellow here tonight.
And Tambakis will be absolutely delighted with, just watching the defensive organisation ahead of him, and he's got a part of it. He's communicating, he's making sure the gaps are filled, but again, that Maples and Herbert centre-back partnership. Bennett really hasn't had a sniff yet tonight.
We saw Kalen Ryden inserted into the starting lineup for the final stretch there of the regular season, but once the playoffs came around, Eric Quill went back to that trusted center back pairing of Tony Herbert and Talon Maples. So far, Chris, through a full match and a half, they've conceded 1 goal. Intercepted there by Hosu. Here's Bruce looking for the cross. Headed out by Gennaro Nigro. Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick for New Mexico. As we are just seconds away from entering first half stoppage time. This would be a huge moment for a goal here for New Mexico. We're being told that there is 1 minute of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time, celebrating 30 years of great coffee since '94. So it's Akale to deliver. Takes it short, gets it right back. Akale, so shifty, so agile. Akale just couldn't get by Pinzon, but it goes out, and we've got another, should be another corner kick for New Mexico, and there it is.
Yeah, the assistant referee there didn't want to put his flag up too soon, but yeah, that was, I thought it was quite obvious it was, but broken play there. I'll be curious if maybe Calais just thinks he'll just put one in the box this next time, but we've done a few short corners on this side. Obviously, losing Greg Hurst, they've lost a little bit of height in the attack.
Cross went in. Vargas. That one is sliced well wide. That is the final kick of the first half. We're scoreless between New Mexico United and Las Vegas Lights FC. Chris, your thoughts on that first half?
Really, really entertaining. No, the score says 0-0, but a really, really entertaining first half there. Las Vegas Lights, tons of possession, didn't do enough with it. New Mexico United, really, really dangerous on the counter-attack and have carved out some excellent chances. Will be disappointed that they haven't got their noses in front.
There you see Miquele Akale pleading with our official Natalie Simon, going back to that non-call on a potential penalty. But regardless, scoreless here at the half between New Mexico and Las Vegas, brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. We'll step aside. We'll be back with some halftime.
There's no place like the lab in November.
Micheletto unleashes one! Marco Micheletto, welcome to the lab!
But that was just the Wednesday in Maine.
It's his first goal for New Mexico United.
Haley lines it up, he scores!
And what a goal it was!
That's a random Saturday in August.
New Mexico deserves their...
On a weekend in April,
Oh, and at the back post, it's headed in!
we did that.
It's the captain!
Shake the net!
That was a weeknight in September.
And Giacomo Reyes!
It's been like this all season long.
And an absolute thunderbolt! And just like that, New Mexico have taken the lead! Flanagan with the backflip, and the lab has erupted!
So what's November going to look like at the lab this year? Well, that's up to you.
Are you a caregiver of a friend or family member that could use some support? We're here for you. Introducing New Mexicare, a program dedicated to caring for our families. We offer significant financial assistance and comprehensive training to empower both caregivers and older adults to flourish in the comfort of home. To see if you're eligible to enroll in the program, visit newmexicare.org. That's newmexicare.org.
Halftime here at the lab. It's the USL Championship playoffs presented by Terminix. And we're midway through the Western Conference semifinals, scoreless at the break between New Mexico United and Las Vegas Lights FC. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst on a chilly night here in Albuquerque. Temperatures in the high 30s as we get into our halftime programming here. There, the biggest result of the day. Rhode Island, that is not a typo, ladies and gentlemen, knocking out the #1 seed, the powerhouse, Louisville City, Chris.
Yeah, and Rhode Island, one of 3 teams that really went into the playoffs on absolute tremendous form. So Rhode Island, Lou City, and probably Detroit were the 3 in-form teams really over the last month. And yeah, just being able to walk on into Lou City and put a 3 spot on them, that's unbelievable. What a great result. What an unbelievable debut season they're having as well.
Absolutely incredible. Dequa added the 3rd there for Rhode Island FC. And then you see the other 2 matchups, Switchbacks and Orange County, Chris. That game, due to weather, had to be moved to tomorrow. And so we'll see Switchbacks, Orange County. They'll meet up with the winner of this one between New Mexico and Las Vegas. And then on the Eastern Conference, Tampa and Charleston. There are some incredible matches this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that Tampa-Charleston game is going to be just tons of fun. And honestly, Switchbacks in Orange County, probably the 2 teams in the Western Conference that came into the playoffs on best form. Definitely Orange County, obviously. Danny Stone, interim head coach down there, picks up Manager of the Month as well for October. So that's going to be a really interesting game as well.
As we move on to our news and notes, and what a turnaround that is for Danny Stone, by the way, after being let go by Phoenix midway through the year. Sac Republic announcing a new ownership group, the Wilton Rancheria Tribe, planning to build a soccer-specific stadium. It was a landmark deal. It is the first time that a native tribe is the majority owner of a professional sports team, and so big kudos to them. Can't wait to see what comes out of Sacramento following that. Then you've got the Coach and Konami eFootball Player of the Month. As you mentioned there, Chris, Danny Stone earning Coach of the Month honors. Rhode Island's J.J. Williams getting Player of the Month. J.J. Williams had a brace today against Louisville City, so just riding that form into the postseason. And some coaching updates, big coaching updates, Chris. Sac announcing that they've parted ways with their head coach, San Antonio, as well. Those are 2 typical powerhouses in the West.
Yeah, and I text you when the Sac Republic news came out yesterday as well, just kind of shocked as well, because it's been a staple there and such a consistent program as well. The end of the season did not go well, but with the amount of changes, the new ownership group clearly decided to go another direction, the new stadium, so lots of exciting things still happening over in Sacramento as well, though.
Yeah, Mark Briggs, Alan Marcina, who would have thought they'd be looking for work at the end of this season? As you're talking about Charleston just moments ago, Chris, Nick Marcanic setting the goal-scoring record this year, as he is your Golden Boot winner out of Charleston Battery. As we move along, lots of awards to give out, the end-of-season awards. Eric Dick, we saw him here, Chris, in the season opener for Pittsburgh. He wins the Golden Glove Award. And then on to the Golden Playmaker Award, and that goes to Noah Fuson out of Rhode Island FC. Big kudos to your 3 award winners this year, Nick Marcanic, Eric Dick, and Noah Fuson. They are golden. Halftime here at the Lab in Albuquerque. We'll be back with some more halftime programming.
Yeah. Get it. Get it. Should've got a dog.
When mice show up, so do we. Terminix it.
New flavors. The same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador. Spiked Bebidas.
Welcome to Do or Die. Welcome to stories that give meaning to it all. The juggernaut chasing history. The hero hoping for a Hollywood ending. The upstart determined to make the most of its shot at glory. Welcome to second guessing everything. Every coach's decision. Every referee's call. Every pass, shot, tackle, save. Because you know it all means more now. Welcome to the playoffs.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
Welcome back here to the lab in Albuquerque. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst, and it is the USL Championship Western Conference semifinal between New Mexico United and Las Vegas Lights FC. We're scoreless here at the break, presented by First Financial Credit Union. These are a look at your first half highlights, and Chris, despite it being scoreless on the board, this one has not been short on action.
Especially when it comes to New Mexico United attacking. Like you said, just going into the half, Las Vegas had a lot of the ball, but really haven't troubled Alex Tambakis at all. That was an early sighter for Marco Micheletto, and he was involved again in this second chance here. Puts a great ball in. Akale doesn't even need to take a touch, just guides it basically towards goal. It's just everything's been on the break for New Mexico United, so how quickly they're able to transition from defending to attacking is causing Las Vegas Lights all kinds of issues.
There, an absolute stinger from Will Seymour, coming off his goal last week that evened things up against Phoenix. Now, we'll look at the stats here in just a moment. That ball from Daniel Bruce might have been the single best touch that we saw in the entire 45.
I think Daniel Bruce only had 4 passes in the entire first half, but that one, the no-look, he just knew where his teammates were. And that ball, again, it was Will Seymour attacking from outside back and just played that ball, and absolutely unbelievable save as well. But yeah, like we said, the possession, 73% for Las Vegas Lights. But 2 shots, both of those 2 shots, were in the first 10, 11 minutes of the match. Nothing in towards Tambakis at all in the last 30, 35 minutes of that half.
New Mexico ought to feel like they were knocking on the door there towards the end of that first half, as they'll look to carry that momentum into the second half. Your halftime stats presented by Duke City Cares, your medical family. We'll step aside. We'll be back with the second 45.
There's no place like the lab in November.
Micheletto unleashes one! Marco Micheletto, welcome to the lab!
But that was just the Wednesday in Maine.
It's his first goal for New Mexico United.
Haley lines it up, he scores!
And what a goal it was!
That's a random Saturday in August.
New Mexico deserves their...
On a weekend in April.
Oh, and at the back post, it's headed in!
We did that.
It's the captain!
That was a weeknight in September. It's been like this all season long.
And an absolute thunderbolt! And just like that, New Mexico have taken the lead. Flanagan with the backflip, and the lab has erupted.
So what's November going to look like at the lab this year? Well, that's up to you.
Windrock Wonderland, Windrock Wonderland. November 30th, stroll through the holiday market, treasures and treats, so where should we start? December 7th, the fun's here again. Windrock Wonderland, the best time of year. Windrock Wonderland, Windrock Wonderland.
We are back here at the lab. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. It's the USL Championship playoffs presented by Terminix. And we've got a good one on our hands right now between number 1, New Mexico United, and number 4, Las Vegas Lights FC. All right, Chris, we've got just over 90 seconds until the second half starts. This has been incredibly entertaining so far, although scoreless. Las Vegas, they haven't had a whole lot going forward, as you touched on during the halftime break there. What do they have to change to get things going?
I mean, they have to try and get the ball in. Pinzon, Noel, Asante, Bennett. Bennett's been largely anonymous in that first half. So how do you get him in the game? Pinzon and Noel. Noel was picking the ball up. He had more touches in and around the centre circle than in and around the New Mexico United box. So you have to try and get him in possession higher up the field, and that's going to be the key. But again, New Mexico United, they seem so well drilled and so organised. That's why they're finding it hard. They're struggling to find the gaps to be able to play passes that break lines, so they're constantly under pressure, not able to get those guys in attacking areas. Daniel Bruce,
he had a few opportunities in that first half, and the Englishman getting the start here today, Chris, after going as an unused sub last week against Phoenix. He's played tremendous.
Yeah, he's been a nuisance. I think I described him as annoying in the first half. As a centre-back, I'd hate to play against him. He's just, he doesn't look like what he's good at that he would be, just because of his stature, and he's just so strong and busy and never gives defenders a second on the ball. You can see, he was the one that first started talking when they pulled the team in. He's a leader on this group as well. When he speaks, his teammates listen as well, and that was Marco Micheletto as well. The team spirit and the players leading the team. But yeah, he's had a great first half, and again, 3 goals already against Las Vegas this year. Would you bet against him not scoring in the second half yet?
Yeah, absolutely. Daniel Bruce, the lone remaining player from the inaugural season from the original team, as Daniel Bruce tonight makes career appearance number 156 in a black and yellow kit. And that just shows why he's the leader that he is. Not afraid to be vocal. And here we go. Second half between New Mexico United and Las Vegas Lights. The winner goes to the Western Conference Final. The loser heads to the offseason. Bennett gets us going here in the second half. Adams turns and immediately wins the foul to start this second half. And you look at this New Mexico United squad, Chris, and there are leaders all over the place. You talked about Marco Micheletto. He was the club captain at his last stop with Columbus Crew 2 in MLS Next Pro. Talon Maples in the back line. He also the former captain at his previous side at Houston Dynamo 2. Then you've got the actual captain of this club, Kalen Ryden, on the bench right now. So many leader-like voices everywhere you turn. I don't think it's any sort of coincidence that New Mexico have had the season that they have.
That's balance. We mentioned it in the first half as well. The balance of that. Experience, youth, players who are just allowed to go and play. Like Akale is given freedom to go find the ball, and that's maybe not been the case. It's been maybe a little more structured in the past, but there's so much structure behind him that he is allowed to maybe, if he's not finding the ball on the right, then he's allowed to drift inside, and that's not, it's not a big deal, So there's that, and then you've got the youngsters who've spent most of the season on the bench this year as well. So having those players be around this amount of experience can only help their growth in the long run as well.
Ball hit long, looking to pick out the run of Gloucester. Gloucester headed out by Nigro. Seymour now. Hosu turns that ball over. Nanan Hosu, acquired via transfer from Loudoun back in February. He's just been incredible. We talked about what he provides in the midfield, Chris. He has 60 tackles this year coming into tonight. That is 26 more than Marco Micheletto, who has the second most.
Yeah, and again, such an important role that he has in that midfield. Just breaking things up and but that shouldn't overshadow as well how good he is on the ball. Like he has these little turns and where he has fakes where he can just throw defenders completely off, and then his first 2-3 steps, he's got such long legs and such a long gait. He's able to break pressure in 2-3 steps and then play dangerous passes as well.
Moore thought he might get called for another foul there as Bailey goes to ground. Gondo still in possession. 3 black and yellow shirts surrounding Pinzon over there on the far side. Here's Noel. Noel goes down, and Hosu says he got the ball, and he did. Fans, you can check out all the exciting postseason action as the USL playoffs presented by Terminix kick off in November. The top teams will battle it out for the ultimate prize. Go to USLChampionship.com for all the latest playoff information. New Mexico looking to break. Here's Akale. He's got options in the middle. Cuts it back to Akale. Bailey now on the right foot. Bailey has a pop. And Arozarena gets a hand to it. And it's another save for the Cuban keeper.
Arozarena does really well there because it comes through a crowd of bodies from Zico Bailey. Also, it bounces right in front of him as well, so he has to get it right. And again, he elects to push it round the post rather than trying to catch it cleanly. Right decision, but you see, it just bounces there right in front of him. Just the cold and the dew on the grass is just making it pick up speed as it comes through to him.
Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick for New Mexico. 5 minutes into the second half. Here's Nicoletto. Sends this ball in, back post. It's going to fall to Akale. Akale plays this ball back in. Overhits everybody. It falls to Nicoletto. Nicoletto into the penalty area. Nicoletto! And Arozarena just making sure that ball goes over his crossbar. And it's going to be another corner kick for New Mexico.
Mexico United, great start to the second half here. Got Las Vegas Lights really pinned in. Can they make it count?
Here's a look at that TLC replay. Arozarena, he's been busy here tonight. This time it'll be Makwele Akale. Akale plays this in. Punched away by Arozarena. Here's Asante. In zone now. Well done there by Zico Bailey. Zico Bailey, 32 tackles this season, 26 interceptions. He has been pivotal in the midfield for Eric Quill.
And you could see that Pinzon was just trying to slow Zico Bailey down to then speed it up again, and Zico Bailey wasn't buying it at all and picked the right moment to just step in there. Great defending.
Here's Duty. And Gondo takes a touch off of Valentin Noel. Throw in here for New Mexico. Fans, you can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN. That's the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Select matches, including the championship final, will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. You can go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Here's Pinzon. Lights still in possession. Here's Asante. Asante! That one just goes wide, but he had Tambakis. Full extension.
Yeah, I'm going to say exactly the same as what I said in the first half. You can always tell by the reaction of the goalkeeper, and Tambakis was not sure. Again, being so quiet. Asante is really been anonymous in the first half. All he needs is that one moment, and that's the quality there. And you can see the disappointment as soon as he hit it. He just wanted to try and bring it back, and he just cut across the ball a little bit, so took it away from goal, but that did not miss by much. Little warning shot for New Mexico United. While it's been comfortable, Las Vegas Lights still very, very dangerous.
Solomon Asante, the 34-year-old Ghanaian, spent the last couple seasons with Indy 11. Before that, New Mexico United fans know him from his time at Phoenix Rising. Here comes New Mexico. Micheletto taken out from behind, and we're going to see a yellow card, and that's going to be shown to Pinzon. 54th minute, Pinzon goes in the book.
I can't work out what Pinzon is arguing about there. He got absolutely nowhere near the ball. Micheletto felt the pressure coming and kind of stepped in his way. You can see he just shields the ball, feels it coming, almost steps on him a little bit. But yeah, he goes to ground so early, he was just asking for trouble there.
So this a dangerous area for a free kick, Chris. And we know all about what Miquele Akale is capable of. As Akale this year, 3 goals from direct free kicks. 3 of his 5 goals this season have come that way. It's Micheletto standing over the ball alongside Akale. I have a feeling this has Miquele Akale written all over it.
I'm pretty sure Rosarena knows that as well.
Yeah.
Because of the standards he set towards the end of the season, he gets the pull rank. Aquale, sorry. Gets the pull rank and pretty much say, yeah, this one's mine. And yeah, it is set up just right of centre, set up perfectly for the left foot.
Look at this. It's a 4-man wall, 5-man wall now. That's usually another good indicator of how worried the keeper is. Akale hits it into the wall. It falls to Seymour. Bailey now looking to go back for Akale, and a great defensive play by Gennaro Nigro.
Yeah, the wall did its job there, and then Las Vegas Lights reacted really quickly as well.
Long ball looking for Marlon Vargas. Falls to Gloucester outside the penalty area. Too heavy of a touch there. Chris Gloucester spent a lot of time with the U.S. Youth national teams. 61 total appearances between the U17 and U23 levels. Also, it's a MLS Cup champion as well with New York City FC a couple years ago. Gondo almost made a mess of it with the pressure from Hosu. Nigro now. Jabang and Charlie Adams, the captain Charlie Adams, going back and forth. Adams, the 30-year-old Englishman, spent the last 4 seasons with San Diego Loyal. Bet you it's pretty nice out there right now. It's Hosu. Hosu still. And Hosu looked like he may have won a corner kick, but our official says it's a goal kick for Raiko Rosarena.
There's that other side to Hosu that we talked about as well, though. It's not just a ball winner, not just a destroyer in midfield. He can create then. Once he gets going, he's like a train. It's just so hard to stop. And see, I think it was a little awkward the way that the tackle happened at the end. Could have been a corner. It was decided not to. But again, great seeing Hosu breaking from midfield. You see Las Vegas Lights starting to get a little bit more comfortable in this game. Certainly the first time we've seen this since maybe the opening 10 minutes of the match.
Throw in here for New Mexico as that went off the feet of Valentin Noel. So while we've got a second, let us tell you about Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. You can visit us.select-sport.com for more information. Select the player's choice. That ball got hit long during that.
I'm pretty sure that was Daniel Bruce going for a shot. He put his hand up immediately. Maybe it was a misplaced pass, but I think he maybe spotted Rosarena off his line and thought, why not? But shot well wide.
And Gondo, great touch there to find Duty. Duty looking for the cross. Instead, it was Talon Maples heading that ball away. Seymour judged to have been fouled before the turnover there. So Fiesta Auto free kick here for New Mexico. Tony Herbert went the distance against Phoenix last weekend. A couple of tackles. Had 7 clearances. Did pick up a 77th minute yellow card. Kale, he's looking to pick out the run of Vargas. Sante. Yeah, Sante, Chris, we saw that flash from him moments ago. He teed a shot up, and he's someone that certainly knows how to fill it up. Look back to that 2019 season with Phoenix Rising. 22 goals for Solomon Asante that season.
Phoenix Rising attack that season was lethal, and him being the spearhead of it as well. And just, quite shocking when he actually left, or when Phoenix allowed him to leave and didn't tie him down to a longer contract, and he's maybe fell off the radar a little bit since then, potentially, but again, fresh in the mind of New Mexico United. He will always be known as a Phoenix Rising player, and there's no love lost in that rivalry.
Over 200 appearances for Solomon Asante as Pinzon looks to cross this ball, falls to Asante. He lays it off. Here's Duty now. And Gondo finds Noel. Shot attempt is blocked there from Tony Herbert. Blocked by Tony Herbert, I should say. Hafferty looks to spread this. It's Pinzon now. Noel gets it out to Gennaro Nigro. Well done there by Hosu. He forces the turnover, but Vargas gives it right back. Adams with the left foot. And off the deflection. Corner kick coming up here for Las Vegas Lights.
There's a few knowing looks going Vargas' way right now, where just, again, you mentioned Hosu works so hard to win the ball back. It pops out of Vargas and he just gives it away so cheaply and then doesn't react. And just too slow in that transition moment as well. And I believe it was Micheletto let him know exactly what he thought about that, and to maybe step things up. So his ears are ringing right now.
We're also starting to see some movement over there in the substitutes area. Top right corner of your screen there for Eric Quill. USL playoffs presented by Terminix. Here's Noel. Gloucester defending. What a touch there from Noel. Split the double team, but Duty could not control it. Foul goes against Valentin Noel.
Yeah, and you see it's, while Las Vegas had a lot of the ball, and that's still the case in the second half, it's different. It feels different. They're probing, they're moving the ball a little quicker, and New Mexico United don't look nearly as controlled out of possession as what they were in the first half. Las Vegas able to pull New Mexico United out of their positions a little bit more. The little 1-2 touch passing is causing issues now as well. So, again, good little spell for Las Vegas Lights, Mexico United being able to keep them at arm's length, but wouldn't be surprised if we see some changes soon.
Less than half an hour plus stoppage time remaining. And if we're scoreless, Chris, then on to extra time we go. We need a winner here tonight. Just ask Lights what happens if you're scoreless through extra time as well. Raiko Rosarena can tell you. Akale goes down, draws the foul, and the free kick coming up here for New Mexico. The fans can't watch the match. Turn on SiriusXM FC 157. That's North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access. That's on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the new SiriusXM app. All right, Chris. There's Akale standing over it. Just going to ask, what do you reckon? But question was quickly answered.
Tyler Maples was wide open at the back post. Las Vegas all got drawn to the ball. Here he is on the ball now, but they all got drawn to the ball away from him. Nicoletto had spotted him, just dinked the ball to the back post. Would have been interesting.
This ball hit forward, looking for Pinzon, and it's Herbert tracking it down. Herbert goes back to Tambakis. Alex Tambakis, USL Championship all-time saves leader. 618 coming into tonight. He's the only championship goalkeeper to eclipse the 600 save mark. Gloucester now receives this one from Bailey. 65th minute here at the Lab. Gloucester, cross. Sent out by Charlie Adams. Former San Diego Loyal man.
Looks like maybe Will Seymour's maybe struggling a little bit with the pace of the game, or maybe he's picked up a little knock or something like that, and there's again movement on the bench over there for New Mexico United, but
and it looks like A.O. Flanagan will be making his way on here momentarily. He was the super sub that provided the assist on Makwele Akale's match-winning goal last weekend against Phoenix Rising. That's Marco Micheletto. It's a Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick taken short. Micheletto fizzes this one in, and it just goes wide. New Mexico inches away from the go-ahead goal. It was Will Seymour that time. We're going to see Flanagan make his way on after that, and it looks like the night is done for the El Salvadorian Marlon Vargas. It's a good shift from Vargas.
Yeah, but you just saw maybe a little leggy, and that's why he gave the ball away a few moments ago, where his teammates let him know as well. And, that was Will Seymour getting on the end of that cross there. I was waiting for the net to bulge. Vicious cross. My goodness, maybe he wasn't struggling with an injury. It just looked like maybe he was walking with a little limp, but he got up, rose really well. I'm sure everyone, you could see the reaction of the crowd here in the stadium as well. Everyone thought that was in the back of the net.
Rosarena, that one almost got away from him there. And so we see Avion Flanagan in. He makes his 26th appearance this season for the Black and Yellow. I mentioned provided the assist on the goal by Makwele Akale on Sunday. Flanagan, he knows what it's like to put together a deep playoff run. When he was with Charlotte Independence last year, he scored to send Charlotte Independence into the League One semifinal. So coming up big in big moments, Avion Flanagan. This will be a long throw in here. Hafferty measures this up. Second ball goes in, and that is no problem for Tambakis.
It's been a theme for New Mexico United. Normally when, especially last week, let's say, Flanagan, the subs having to come off the bench, trying to dig New Mexico United out of a hole on even keel right now. 0-0, playing well, creating chances like this sub as well. His pace now that Duty's been doing all the work up and down the right-hand side for Las Vegas, maybe feeling the pace of the game a little bit. Flanagan's pace is so explosive. He could really do some damage here later on in the game.
And that was sort of the role that you saw Dayon Harrison to begin the season for this New Mexico United side. Of course, Harris out with the torn ACL. But Flanagan, he's really stepped up for this black and yellow squad. Seymour able to win the header. Back to Tony Herbert. Herbert spent last season in the top flight in Finland. Played for FC Haka, where he made 32 appearances. Backus facing a little bit of pressure, and this could be trouble for Lights. Daniel Bruce on the breakaway. Bruce goes down. And no call from the official, Natalie Simon. Not a whole lot there. But New Mexico back into possession. Here's Akale. Bruce with a little bit of a limp as he gets up. This will be another throw in here for New Mexico. Each chance becomes more and more important. Here's a look at this TLC replay. And Bruce.
You can see there the pace of Jabang, though, just getting back and really good defending. Full foot on the ball there by Jabang, and just an awkward fall for Bruce. Looks like no harm done. He's back up on his feet now, but really good defending. But that was a chance. Daniel Bruce just playing off the shoulder of the centre-backs. And it was really just a punt up the field from Tambakis, under a little bit of pressure, and turned Las Vegas Lights really quickly. So another warning shot. I feel like I owe Seymour an apology as well, because I said maybe that he was struggling a little bit, and he's been flying up and down that right-hand side. So that definitely wasn't the case.
And now we're going to see some subs in for Dennis Sanchez. So Coleman Gannon will make his way in. We're also going to see Elias Gartig as well. That is the end of the night for Charlie Adams. And I believe Solomon Asante. So you bring on the forward, Coleman Gannon. There he is. Gannon on to replace Asante. Coleman Gannon, 21 years old. He's got 5 goals so far this season. The teammate last year with Marco Micheletto and Abdi Mohammed at Columbus Crew 2.
And a little reshuffle for Las Vegas Lights as well, with Gartig, moving into the centre-back role. That just pushes Jabang up into the midfield, so he's going to step in alongside Ngando in midfield in there, taking Charlie Adams' spot.
Here's Duty. Bruce applying pressure. Bruce able to come away with the ball. Bruce now looking for the cross, and shot attempt blocked there from Zico Bailey. Gloucester does well to win the throw-in. Gloucester gets this one back. Bruce, nice little flick there. Flanagan, cross goes in, and back post. It's dealt with by Gennaro Nigro.
What a ball that was by Flanagan. He just puts it in that corridor of uncertainty between the goalkeeper and I think it was maybe Gartig as well. His first touch, and he didn't want to put it into his own net, so he just left it and just hoped for the best and hoped that Nigro was there covering at the back post. But just a vicious cross there. Lovely little touch in the build-up as well from Daniel Bruce. Certainly starting to find the game a lot more, Daniel Bruce.
Elias Gartig, the 22-year-old out of Denmark. Spent the last couple seasons playing in his home country. He's here in the United States this season, making his 6th appearance for Las Vegas Lights here tonight. Nicoletto just going on a little bit of a run there. This is going to be a free kick for Lights.
I'm actually, it's interesting that Nicoletto didn't get a yellow card there. He just juggled the ball the full 25 yards and then pinged it at Tambakis. But, I guess it came back pretty quickly. So, again, it's a back and forth game now. Las Vegas starting to carve out some chances. Caused some issues for the New Mexico United backline. I think that was really good forward play by Bennett there. Just knew he didn't have much support, so felt the little nudge from Maples, which happens 50, 60 times a game, and just decided to go down and win his team a free kick really high up the field.
And Gondo sends this one in, and nobody home on the end of it. And Gondo, a couple of goals so far this season for Las Vegas Lights, the 24-year-old Cameroonian. Over 10,000 of the black and yellow faithful on hand here tonight. Incredible showing of support once again by this fan base as they look to see their club punch their ticket to their first ever Western Conference final, but work to be done. Here's Ngondo. Lights also looking to go to their first ever Western Conference final.
That was unbelievable work from Bennett there. He just tracked down Tyler Maples, and I'm not sure Maples knew he was coming. Just took a little too long on the ball. Bennett again, he's just found a little burst of energy the last 5 minutes or so where he's become a lot more involved in the game, because really first half didn't say his name but maybe once.
Nice touch there from Makale. 75th minute. Nigro now as the advantage played. Here's Pinzon. Gondo. Lights have rotated it all the way to the near side. Here's Gannon. Gabang. 75th minute. 15 minutes plus stoppage time left in regulation. As the substitute, Gartig. There's Noel. Goes back to Gartig. That's going to be a turnover there for Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's more of the story from the first half. Las Vegas Lights enjoying a lot of possession there, but just lacking any kind of penetration, any kind of movement ahead of the ball. That's really forcing New Mexico United to get pulled out of their shape. Back to being somewhat comfortable out of possession, New Mexico United.
The offside flag goes up there on Avion Flanagan, and that's a tough one. He's got a view down the back line right at the AR.
Yeah, that's a really frustrating one, and you see Coach Quill turned around in disgust, just looking down the line. It was a great ball as well by Hosu.
Well done there by Zico Bailey as he wins the free kick. Foul going against Corey Bennett. Corey Bennett, the goal-scoring leader for Las Vegas Lights this season. 14 goals to his tally. Valentin Noel with 10. Noel with 7 assists as well. He is the leading playmaker for this Las Vegas Lights squad. 17 goal involvements for the Frenchman. So we need a winner here tonight. So extra time rules do apply, Chris. We'll have 2 15-minute halves. And if it's still tied, then we'll go into a penalty shootout. New Mexico United fans may have thought they were headed that way last weekend until Makwele Akale was able to get on the end of an Avion Flanagan cross in the 85th minute. Saw New Mexico take the lead for good against Phoenix Rising. That one ended 2-1. Your first ever home playoff match against your arch rival and defending champion, Chris. When you're the 1 seed, all the pressure on you. Here's Flanagan. Still Flanagan. Flanagan! And it's saved by Rosarena.
Flanagan taking that on his weaker right foot there, but it just opened up for him, so he thought, why not? Straight out of Rosarena, but there's the Flanagan that maybe the coaching staff wanted. Again, just able to drive into the space there. Las Vegas Lights defenders didn't get out to him quick enough. I regret that if you give any of the New Mexico United attackers that much space in and around the 18-yard box.
Here's Noel. Former Austin FC 2-man. Duty. Noel just loses control there. Bailey comes away with it. Hosu now. Hosu stripped of possession. Jabang. Great ball forward for Pinzon. Looking for the cross. Here's Pinzon. Nicoletto getting a little handsy there. You see the play switch. Here to the near side. It's Duty. New Mexico come away with possession. Maples with fresh haircut down there, Talon Maples. As Daniel Bruce draws the foul. 80th minute here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. Winner goes to the Western Conference Final. The loser starts the offseason when they wake up tomorrow. The winner of this one will host the winner of tomorrow's match between Colorado Springs Switchbacks and Orange County. It's able to keep it in play. Well, playing it forward for Pinzon, and Pinzon also looking just a little bit leggy here in the 81st minute. Here's Nigro, gets in, and a huge challenge there. Was right on time from Minan Hosu.
And it had to be as well, right? It had to be timed to absolute perfection, and it was.
Corner kick coming up here for Lights. It's Pinzon over to deliver. Christian Pinzon, the 26-year-old out of Mexico, spent the last 2 seasons in RGV with the Toros. Here comes the in-swinger, back post, and foul is called.
It is getting really nervy now. You can hear it in the crowd. You can hear it in the atmosphere. You can see it with the players as well. Playing like not wanting to make a mistake. You know, it could be so important, and it's that one moment of quality or that one lapse in concentration. Is that going to be the difference the last 10 or so minutes here?
'82nd minute. Tambakis sends this ball long. Falls to Flanagan. Flanagan goes down. Nicoletto. Nicoletto lifts this one over the crossbar. Goes back to Gartig. Here's Nicoletto. Finds Bruce. He's got some space. Akale, the former South Georgia Tormenta man. This ball goes in, was looking for Flanagan. Nicoletto, also the former South Georgia Tormenta man. Jabang. What a transition for Jabang here, Chris. Jabang played center back for about 75 minutes here tonight. He's moved up into the midfield almost seamlessly. There's Noel. Outside of the boot. Cross goes in, and Tambakis lays out to grab it.
Yeah, well read there by Tambakis. Just, you can see, like, everyone's just a little leggy right now, waiting for the second wind. See what Tyler Maples and New Mexico United, they've spent a lot of time without the ball tonight. You know, still, possession-wise, 72% over the full game for Las Vegas Light. So New Mexico United spent a long time without the ball, created the more chances. Like, XG, if you believe in that, higher for New Mexico United, which just shows how efficient they've been with the little possession that they've had. But again, it does take it out of you. If you're allowing the other team to control the tempo of the game, it's eventually going to take it out of you.
And Las Vegas, coming up here, they've actually not had a single shot on target here tonight. But sometimes, Chris, all you need is one. So hearing word of a couple of substitutions coming in here for New Mexico. Should take place momentarily. Here's Hosu. Connects with Flanagan. There's Flanagan. Cross goes in. And it's sent away. And we will see those two changes right now. Making an appearance here tonight, it's going to be Nicky Hernandez. As Hernandez comes on, making his 32nd appearance here this season is Hernandez. And joining him, making his 4th appearance, Abu Danladi. What a time for Danladi to come on. He's got 13 minutes played so far this season. It's been marred by injuries. It's worked so hard to get back. He was given the number 9 shirt before this season started. Now it's time to see what he's made of. Is this ball given away? And here's a breakaway for Lights. Bennett tracked down, and Las Vegas have taken the lead here in the 86th minute. New Mexico stunned. And the Lights, in their first ever postseason run, looking to go to the Western Conference Finals. 15th goal of the season for Corey Bennett.
That is an unbelievable turn. I think it was Zico Bailey, based on his reaction after the goal. I think he gave the ball away in midfield. He's inconsolable at the minute. The reaction of the New Mexico United players, they know how big and how important that goal could potentially be. Unbelievable, just absolutely sucked the life out of the stadium there. You hear screams so late in the game, and we said earlier, is it going to be that moment of brilliance or a mistake, lapse in concentration? Unfortunately, it's been the latter.
So it's Las Vegas with the lead here in the 87th minute. It is do or die now for the black and yellow. Here comes Bailey. You know he's going to be looking to make up there for that turnover. Gloucester, New Mexico, searching for an equalizer. Excuse me, that was Seymour actually that played that ball in.
I tell you what a finish it was by Bennett though. A huge amount of pressure from Maples. Maples just absolutely desperately trying to get back, went full extension just laid out, and he manages to put it through, I believe it was through Maple's legs and Tambakis as well. What a great finish for, he's been feeding on scraps all night.
Las Vegas, they've scored first 10 times this year. They've only gone on to the win the match 5 times. And so a silver lining there for New Mexico. 88th minute. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Foul there on Mukwele Akale. And Akale is going to go into the book. In the 89th minute, that yellow card brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. We're going to start seeing a load of substitutes coming in here for both sides. So that is Mukwele Akale right after being booked, and so the subs will have to wait. 90 seconds plus stoppage time here. Here's Nigro, and Las Vegas just looking to get down to the corner. See this one out. Lights and no hurry whatsoever. There's a look at the subs. And so here we go. Harry Swartz is on now for Zico Bailey. We're also going to see Kalen Ryden on as well. Bailey and Mukwele both go off. Now a number of subs for Las Vegas as well. So we'll wait for all of these subs to take place here. It looks like Dre Fortune will be coming on. Joey Gao as well on for Lights. Couldn't tell who that final substitute was, but 5 minutes of stoppage time. And so New Mexico staring at potentially, Chris, the final 5 minutes of their record-breaking season, unless there's a moment of magic. Immediately straight to the corner.
Kalen Ryden steps on as an auxiliary forward, straight up top, looking for long balls and knockdowns. It's desperation stage for New Mexico United.
Ball bouncing around here, Swartz. This ball around the penalty area. New Mexico looking for an equalizer late here. Comes out to Maples. Flanagan now. Flanagan goes down. And the foul brought back by Natalie Simon. A lifeline extended to New Mexico here in second half stoppage. So a huge free kick here with the season hanging in the balance. It's Avion Flanagan and Nikki Hernandez standing over this one. It's going to take something special to beat Raiko Arozarena. Rosarena sets up his wall. Just over 2 minutes gone by of second half stoppage time. 5 minutes given. Flanagan! And he just sends it wide.
You could just feel the tension there. It was like everyone knew that that might be the last chance. New Mexico United, you need to try and carve out at least one more. But again, Russell Reyna, we talked about him in the pre-game. Absolute brick wall, and that's proved to be the case tonight again as well.
Rosarena to send this one long. Over 3 minutes gone by of second half stoppage time. A minimum of 5 minutes added on. Wouldn't be shocked to see it go a little bit longer just due to that stoppage we just had. New Mexico with their foot on the gas here, and it's not going to get it done. Back-to-back throw-ins won by Las Vegas Lights there. Here's Herbert off the throw-in. Fans eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, play as your favorite championship club. eFootball, free to play, download now. Here's Hosu. Into the final minute of second half stoppage. It's now or never for New Mexico. Winner going to the Western Conference Final. The loser goes home. Here's Flanagan. Flanagan delivers. A collision there between Maples and Rosarena. Rosarena going to take his time getting up. We'll take another look at that replay there. It's a good ball in from Avion Flanagan, and wow, Rosarena barely got a touch to that. And Rosarena still feeling the effects of that collision. We've seen it. Natalie Simon making her way all the way over to the Las Vegas bench now. And we're seeing a red card shown to the bench.
What on earth is going on here?
So somebody sent off over there, part of the Las Vegas coaching staff. But in the meantime, it's Raiko Rosarena down right now. That was who was sent off there for Lights. That might be perhaps the best reaction I've ever seen to a red card. He got it, immediately said, okay, no problem, I'm out, and hit the road. Rosarena, again, just taking his time. 6 minutes gone by. You're in second half stoppage, and you've played maybe about 3 minutes of it.
Yeah, it's been really stop-start and really well managed, you have to say, by Las Vegas Lights as well. The last thing they want is the ball in play. And
full-time whistle at the Lab. Las Vegas advance to their first ever Western Conference Final. And the incredible season ends right here tonight for New Mexico, Chris. It's a 1-0 victory for the visitors. Raiko Rosarena with a number of incredible saves. Give us your thoughts from that match.
Big moments change big games, and there was one really big moment in that second half, and Las Vegas Lights were able to take advantage of it, so bitterly disappointing for New Mexico United. Been an unbelievable season. The fans here turned out in force again tonight, and you can see how disappointed the players are. But again, Las Vegas Lights created more chances in the second half than what they did in the first half. Second half was much more balanced, much more even, and they've come away with the win.
Big time by Las Vegas Lights as they come into the Lab, as we have a look here at the championship bracket updated Las Vegas Lights into the conference final. They're one step away from playing for a championship as they'll take on the winner of Orange County and Colorado Springs Switchbacks. As we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back to put a bow on things from here at the Lab. Full-time Las Vegas advances.
There's no place like the Lab in November.
Micheletto unleashes one! Marco Micheletto, welcome to the Lab!
But that was just the Wednesday in Maine.
It's his first goal for New Mexico United.
Haley lights it up, he scores!
And what a goal it was!
That's a random Saturday in August.
New Mexico deserves their...
On a weekend in April.
Oh, and at the back post, it's headed in!
We did that.
It's the captain!
That was a weeknight in September. It's been like this all season long.
And an absolute thunderbolt! And just like that, New Mexico have taken the lead! Flanagan with the backflip, and the Lab has erupted!
So what's November going to look like at the Lab this year? Well, that's up to you.
With more ways to win, whatever game you play, Sandia Resort Casino. Now more than ever. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Full time here at the Lab, and that is a look at your Western Conference finalist, the Las Vegas Lights, as they hand New Mexico United a bitter defeat. Final score 1-0. Corey Bennett was the difference maker here tonight in the 86th minute. Christian Pinzon picking up the assist. And the season ends here for the number 1 seed, New Mexico United. Let's have a look at our full-time highlights. And despite just the one goal, this one filled with action, Chris, from the very start.
Yeah, it really was. And New Mexico United need to pay in the end for not taking chances in the first half. Again, in terms of possession, they weren't necessarily dominant, but in terms of chances created and good chances created, they had the lion's share in the first half and just weren't able to take one. Nicoletto with that first one, great interplay there as well. And what a save that was. What a save. Rosarena, and the no-look pass by Daniel Bruce. That was Vargas. I bet he wished he could have that one back as well, but there was the pass from Zico Bailey, and 2 touches, and Bennett away to the races. You can see Maples did everything he possibly could to try and stop that. Popped through his legs. I believe it goes through Tambaka's legs as well. Again, big moment, and Bennett was cool enough to finish it off, and what a huge, huge moment that was in Las Vegas Light season.
The 26-year-old Jamaican Corey Bennett adds on his 15th goal of this season, and that ends up being the difference maker tonight for Las Vegas Lights. A look at our full-time stats, and Chris, Lights had the lion's share of the possession for most of the match. New Mexico barely creeping up there towards the end, but what do the numbers tell you?
I mean, just it's the huge disparity in shots and shots on target. Like, New Mexico United dominant in the final third in terms of chances created and just weren't able to put them away. Did they miss Greg Hurst today? Potentially. No, but again, they had the firepower on the pitch to make it count, and that will be the disappointing thing stepping off the field.
And so that is your full-time stats as the 2024 season comes to an end, as New Mexico fall to Las Vegas Lights here at the Lab in the Western Conference semifinal. Las Vegas moving on as they'll play the winner of Orange County and Colorado Springs Switchbacks. That match tomorrow. Make sure to check it out. And so for one last time this season, that's going to do it here for our broadcast. For everybody here tonight, for our producer, Gary Williams, for Chris Hurst on color. It's been an incredible season. Thank you, Familia, for joining us. We'll see you here again next year in 2025.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.